Hi, I'm Gorgone, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a model if you don't have a partner. So I'm going to use a pool noodle and a sweatshirt and tie them on a chair in order to create some sort of a chest area. So you will be able to practice a lot of the things that I will be showing in the beginner course, but also practice some chest harnesses. Of course, you're not going to be able to do everything. This is really only simulating square hand position on the chest. So you won't be able to do any kind of fancy harnesses. But it's a pretty good start if you want to be practicing by yourself and you want to do things that aren't possible on your own body. This is also a really good way to practice the beginner course if you can't do too many things on your own legs. Some of the things that I will be showing in the beginner classes videos, doing on my own legs, and I'm aware that this is not possible for everyone if you're not flexible enough, or if this is really uncomfortable for you, or simply if you don't have the desire to tie yourself up. So I'm going to be showing this to you. I'm also sitting on a chair as I'm doing this, as a reminder that when you practice on yourself, so without a model, whether it's going to be on this practice chair or on yourself, this might be a more comfortable setup than sitting directly on the floor. So even if you're tying things on your own leg, maybe being like this, or even using two chairs and then tying on your knee, might be a lot more comfortable and accessible than sitting on the floor and having to bend over or kneel for a long time. So I hope this is helpful for you and that it will allow you to practice a lot of things in a more comfortable way and get ready to tie yourself or your partners in the next classes. All right, so I'm going to show you how to create this practice chair. So I'm going to need this pool noodle. So this is something you can buy in a local store or online. It costs about $3 to $4. And this is just a standard one, so no need to buy something more fancy than this. And then I'm going to need a sweatshirt. So you need a sweatshirt that is wide enough that it's going to cover as much of the pool noodle as possible. And I'm going to pull the noodle through the arms of the sweatshirt. On both sides. And pull this roughly to the middle. Like this. And then I'm going to put the sweatshirt over the chair. Like this. According to the kind of chair you have, it might make more sense to have it to the front, to the back. In my case, it makes most sense to keep it just on top and towards the front like this. So try to make sure that this is in the middle so the arms are of the same length on both sides. Now this tends to fall and move around a lot. So the first thing I want to do is take a little piece of rope. This doesn't have to be bondage rope. It can be really anything that you have around the house, just to lock this in place. And I'm going to just try to get this a little bit more stable onto the top of my chair. So really just wrapping around a few times. Quite tightly. Until you feel like it's pretty solid. So in my case now, this is enough. I'm just going to close this. In the back. And just lock this in place. Once I'm done with this, I'm just going to close the little zipper so it looks nice and fold it over there. So now I can start pulling the arms in to finish the position. So I want to start, it's really hard if you try to keep these in place and tie something on here, it's going to always come off. It's pretty tricky. So the way that I prefer to do this, the easiest way, is really to take, again, 2 small pieces of rope. And just like before, this doesn't have to be bondage rope. It can be really anything. And catch yourself onto the pull noodle. So it's pretty good to be straight onto it and not on the fabric, because this plastic actually creates quite a lot of friction, so it stays in place really nicely. And then pull this lark's head really tightly. And then I'm going to bend this arm. I really want to bend it here. And then go on the opposite side of the chair and tie it off. So I'm just going like around this part of the chair and around the noodle a couple of times until I'm running out of rope and I can just close this off. You can really do this in any way. There's no safety issue here. So really anything that works. And then drop the sweater on top. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other hand. So same principle here. I'm going to do a lark's head again. Put it onto the little arm here. Pull it tight. And then bend it to the other side. Once again, I'm really looking for this part of the chair that will be stopped by the seat. If I do it on this part, it will always slide down. So make sure that you come up here. And catch this with the rope and really pull the arm up. And again, just looping around from the chair to the noodle until I'm running out of rope, and then I can just close it. And cover it up. So now you have something quite nice here. I made it a little bit too tight almost. You have to make sure that it's possible for you to actually use these arms. Maybe you'll have to push things a little higher and adjust the noodle. Maybe you have to make it a little bit less tight, leave more space like this. Really according to your chair and your setup, it's going to be maybe a little bit different. But basically now I have a chest. And from here, I can be practicing all sorts of things. I can be practicing my single and double column ties around the wrist. I can be practicing my TK. I can be practicing my frictions. You can really practice all sorts of things on this. And you can even do Hojo cuffs because you really have isolated arms, or you can wrap all around like this. And the nice part of this thing is that the noodle is going to create this kind of squishy feeling that a real body is going to have. So if you would do the same thing but without the noodle and just throw a sweatshirt onto a chair, these really sharp and hard surfaces like this, the rope is going to slide around and it's not going to feel quite the same. So here you have also the sense of how it feels to put more or less tension onto a body. I hope you found this trick useful and that it will allow you to practice your basic frictions or some new harnesses quietly and relaxed, even if you don't have a partner. You can feel free to let us know in the comments if you have any questions or any issues setting this up, or if you just want to share your experience practicing with it. Thank you for watching.